The next step change for gamers and developers must deliver true 4K gaming and high-fidelity VR.
We're moving Fallout 4 to VR, and to have a console that can support that at the resolution and speed that we really want, I think it's going to be magical.
This console is 100% for you guys.
So people change, plans change, Xbox has changed, and after promoting Xbox Scorpio as VR ready, advertising that VR capability would be coming in 2018, Microsoft now says, forget about it, because it ain't happening, at least not anytime soon. Speaking to game industry, Microsoft says, we don't have any plans specific to Xbox consoles and virtual reality or mixed reality. Our perspective on it has been, I guess since this interview started, and continues to be that the PC is probably the best platform for more immersive VR and mixed reality. As an open platform, it just allows faster, more rapid iteration. There are plenty of companies investing in it, the hardware side and the content side, or some combination therein. Obviously, on phones, augmented reality is a good scenario as well that's going to grow, but as it relates to Xbox, no. Our focus is primarily on experiences you would play on your TV, and ultimately, we'd like to make those experiences more broadly. So if you're interested in augmented reality, there's a device for you. It's called a phone. If you want VR, you want mixed reality, get a PC. Considering the rapid decline, though, of the VR discussion, like how much do you see anybody promoting VR these days, the dragging sales of VR headsets, I don't think it's surprising to really see Microsoft decide to pull out now before getting dragged down with the rest of the industry. You know, back when PlayStation VR first launched, sales were really good because the hardcore, anytime that something gets released, hardcore will go out and they'll jump on board, they'll buy it up. And so the first few months, Sony was bragging, talking about how they were beating internal goals and they thought that they were going to blow away the sales expectations that they had. They were giving interviews to the New York Times, talking about how great everything was going. But then as the hardcore all got their hands on it and people started realizing that a lot of the experiences were just, you know, kind of glorified demos or shovelware. It's not to say that there aren't any good VR games or there won't be any good ones, but a lot of it was at the time just kind of showing off what the future could be. Things came to a halt and Sony ended up not hitting their sales target on time. They've just recently came out and stated that sales are much slower than they anticipated, that they would like for it to be a little bit higher than what it currently is. So a year later, Sony has announced that 2 million PlayStation VR units have been sold and close to 10 million PlayStation VR games have been bought, but that's still far lower than analysts had expected. Some were expecting that there would be at least 4 million sold by now. Some were even predicting 8 million units out in the wild for Sony. Now, the good news for Sony is that despite the lower adoption rate, it's still beating out Oculus and Vive and owns a larger portion of the market than anybody. And now it's not going to have to worry about any big competition entering the ring anytime soon because Microsoft apparently is just going to continue to sit on the sidelines, at least when it comes to the consoles. Microsoft doesn't need another Kinect failure on its hands. I mean, it's trying to reposition itself as trying to get a handle on its first-party problems. They're going to try to focus on games and the hardware to play those games moving forward. So they've got a lot on their plate, and by the time new hardware and games arrives, by then maybe you do have a good wireless VR component that you could then release because Phil has stated that he wanted a wireless device. And so you've got Microsoft, they're still in the game as far as the PC side. They're still revealing or getting ready to reveal the HoloLens 2. They're also still working with other VR headset manufacturers. It's just that while they're in the game, it's just going to be Xbox owners who currently won't be involved anytime soon. So post your thoughts down below. Do you think it's a smart decision for Microsoft to get out before getting in with Xbox VR? Or are you disappointed that they promoted it as a feature of the X and now they're reneging? That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.